Hello, everyone. Back to Ace Attorney this morning. We are starting episode 5 Rise from the Ashes. Somebody's got a knife. Oh, there was the Blue Badger. It's in the police station. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. February 22nd, 10:02 a.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Um, who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. The famous defense attorney Mia Fey. Sorry, you got the wrong person. Mia died in like the first episode. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the coffee boy? No, I am another, I would say, famous ace attorney. I haven't lost a case. I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right, right. Wait! You're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry? I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney. Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please! I'm out of time. But please, you have to help. It's my sister. I knew she was gonna remind him of Maya. Phoenix is getting soft. Maya, could it be? Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma. Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientist. Scientific investigator? Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator? Yes, that's right. It's. Is something wrong? No, it's just. You seem kind of. Jumpy, or maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader. But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Grade another future professional in training. So, what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't. So, it's a murder case? I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact. And there's a witness? Just talk to her. You have to talk to her. Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but that's interesting. How would she know Mia? So you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. Sorry to break it to you, Emma, but 16 is still considered a child. I believe investigations should be done scientifically. Don't you? Um, yeah. Sure can't fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. Guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person has a few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, she gets like. She is now. I kinda hate her. Huh? But. But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, go to the detention center. February 22nd, detention center, visitors room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. Guard, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. So, 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 sorry, ma'am. It's just your sister. No excuses. Or did you not want to raise this year? Oh, wait. Or did you not want to raise this year? Understood, ma'am. What was that all about? Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentions you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana, Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be coincidence? Emma, Lana. I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's something you should know from the start, which is the suspect of this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? W wait, but the suspect is me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright, well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. Uh, that was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate's car trunk. Classy. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed, as it were. Well, that's just great. So, who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Not Detective Gumshoe, right, though? Right? Death was due to loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh, oh. What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So, you're the chief prosecutor? That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by the prosecutors in this district. I made sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. What happened to your hand? Lana, what happened to your hand? That's what I just said. Oh, this? I cut myself by accident when I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of me, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, right? Correct? A few years above her. Emma told you that, too, didn't she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia. Hey! It was in law school. I was in my third year and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. Oh, I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright, excuse me? As you can plainly see, I am admitting to my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana, why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana, I know. So, so how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I, I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright? Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. Um, you mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes, but something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here, and I'm going to find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everyone liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe well, maybe not. It sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. So this is the parking lot where it all happened. I already see something on the ground. Maybe we should probably pick that up. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone, keep up the good work. Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they are going to be my coworkers 3 years from now after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying to not stand out too much here, you see. Hey there! You expecting to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? Oh, you're new. What do we have here? Ooh, I like the music. Looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall. Marshall looks like more. Wait, looks like. Looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, Bambina, I know how you feel. But this is my gang's golden strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a mother load of evidence. If you're fixin' to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what? You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Was that a hombre, a friend of yours? Hombre, yeah. Kinda, sorta, yeah, he's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. Okay. Let's pick up the first thing I saw. What's this, a wallet? Excuse me, officer. Wait, what are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at the crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it into your pocket. How is that scientific? Sounds like theft to me. Wallet hastily stuffed into pocket. A foldable wallet found at the crime scene. There's seems to be something inside. I'm I'm called to duty already and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? By the way, her eyes are sparkling. I can tell she's been waiting for this. Okay, now look at the court record. Okay? You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully, on all sides. Now let's start examining, from every angle. Okay, I see. Oh look, I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out with the press of enter. Oh, this this is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189. I see. Well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess, th though I don't see what science has to do with it. Yeah, I think we're just investigating at this point. An investigator's ID card found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on. What other thing? Look, a door! This must mean something. I'm not sure that door mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? A ladder. Aha, a ladder! Um, that's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Ooh, a phone. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she blabbering about? Hey, what did you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. Yeah, I don't think the barometric pressure is going to cause issues in an underground parking lot. At least not to your hearing. This wall is in our way. It's got a faucet for water. Wait, I know. This wall is merely a facade hiding the truth. This is no wall, but a water tank. I failed to see how any difference either way. Okay. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water. It's heavy, I can't even budge it. The drum over here is on its side. Wait, I know. I'll hide in there and do a stakeout. I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. What? I'm not suspicious. Oh, what's this? Well, no time to waste. Let's get to hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, it looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said here, this here's our claim. You'd best be moseying along, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Gah, scary. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns this car? Well, the little filly's got a good nose on her. You want to know who rides that red Mustang with the body in her saddle, eh? Please. No problem, partner. About time for Vitalis anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor of the prosecutor's office. Might just find your crevice you like. Prosecutor's office? Where does this guy think he is? And one for that. Oh, prospector's office. Note to self. Look up Vitalis Saloon Crevice. Crevice. That's what it is. I am not used to seeing that word. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, but keep your paws off our claim. Right, great. Great, maybe there's some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me? Where are you two all set? Us? Oh, another new person. What's this? She couldn't be... you're selling lunches here? This is a crime scene. Hello, half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes? Some crunchy goodness coming at you? Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passerbys. Or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone, even if my days as the cough-up queen are over. Cough-up, huh? You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on the lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, Cece. The images are burned in my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you're a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective. What? A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please, Cough of Queen, tell us what happened. The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yipes, she means it. Somehow I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Destiny was yesterday special for some reason? Your defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors. They have no qualms at all about blackening the names of innocents. And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday? I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is it some kind of scientific evidence of this evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the cough-up queen. You, the most heinous of all the evil ones, and the one they awarded yesterday. It was his card that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. Well, I get it. The person who owns the car is the person who won the award. Okay, there we go. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Starr? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. The rhythmic beat of Lana Skye's knife. Wait a second, you know Lana Skye? Of course, it's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now, why would this pretty lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Um, could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Starr? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No. Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind the kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tassu's Trilobite lunch set. Never mind, you win. I don't even want to appreciate part of the Trilobite's flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See the security room over there? The glass-walled booth. Oh, I see at the top. I see my lunches. I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. So, to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you must star a lunch vendor with an alternative motive for coming here. Useful analysis, not. Phoenix, be nice. Did you have a bad experience with prosecutor, Miss Star? I sense some hostility. Hostility? Half, perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger we get, the worse they smell. Kinda like 10-day-old clams in the chowder. I wonder if Miss Star was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That be sure cause. Wait. That be a sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now you're talking coffee queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. I see. I just wanna see something. Was there anything on... Oh, I can't even go to the other side. Never mind. Let's go to the High Prosecutor's office. February 22nd, High Prosecutor's office, room 1202. Nice looking office. This is the kind of room that screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display like this. What the... To be fair, when you say Phoenix's office doesn't look like much, that was always the way Mia thought. Like, don't spend too much money on stuff that the client doesn't use. So I'm sure he's just keeping that up. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Of course it's Edgeworth's office. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth. You know him from somewhere? Of course. I'm his biggest fan. My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister is the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you. I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No. Did I? No. It was just Mr. Right here. Hey, don't blame me. We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in his nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. Hmm. That would be my car. What of it? Of course it's Edgeworth's car. What? Your car? I'll say one thing. She certainly can scream. So the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After all, you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean... Wait, so you're the chief prosecutor's little sister then? Yes, sir, Emma Sky. It, it's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit, it was a surprise for me too. To think my own car would become a scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Well, Sky is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor of the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trials tomorrow. You? Mr. Edgeworth. Well, somebody has to do the job. To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here after all. What do you mean? Rumors? You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time where there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the only responsible for the current incident. I'm the one responsible. Okay. What? That's crazy? Hmm. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a facet of life impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky, yes? We first worked together on the case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago. I wasn't even a lawyer that yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I kept in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. Edgeworth's knife added to the court record. The murder weapon usually in Edgeworth's toolbox traces of victim's blood, no prints. Edgeworth. What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can't he take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Yeah, that wasn't a very good joke. Here, tell me more about the trophy. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has big K on it. Mumbles of prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor they send me that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What, so? So that K stands for king? Yeah, good problem with that. I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors. Kinda like Employee of the Month, only better? Given to Edgeworth, King of Prosecutors at the PD on the day of the murder. Okay, so he wasn't really round anyway. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than the usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right? I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in the frame. Maybe they'll be naughty and take a picture. She's getting way too excited about this. My, what an amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. And besides, it a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place, Wendy. Wendy. Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiance? Wait, Oldbag? Wendy Oldbag? That's definitely not his fiance. Yeah, Wendy Oldbag. I don't think so. Oh, cute. What a pretty tea set. I go more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing. The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concoction. There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. And Phoenix, let Edgeworth have his hobbies. Whoa, what a view. It must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor. I guess you'd feel important. Incidentally, were you to jump out of this window, the time until impact with the ground would be... Got it. Approximately 3.23 seconds. That's handy to know. I don't know if I would want to know that. A work desk. It's quite tidy as one might expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection. Strange. What did I... Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? Maybe because it's something he would probably say about the desk. Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir. Don't. He'll sue you. Little chessboard. Hey, a chessboard. I'm not up on my chess, but it looks like blue's in a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn, huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out the poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky, kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. Well, I think you are Edgeworth's biggest rival at this point, so probably something. Whoa, these are all the case files. They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. He must have someone get them for him. Detective Gumshoe. Probably. Strange, why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? He must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool. You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. True, true. Okay. I think that's it. Anything else? Maybe I can show him this? Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this. Mr. Wright, huh? What? Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he? Sigh. I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth, but then my sister would be found guilty. If she sighs any deeper, I'm going to start getting depressed. Well, I'm glad somebody stopped Wright from showing evidence for once. He got in a lot of trouble last time. Okay, she's not even here anymore. Oh, security room. There we go. Look, a stylish glass wall room, very nice. You could see the whole parking lot from in there. It says security, perhaps it's a cafe? Huh? Cafe security, yeah, that must be it. Let's check it out later. I hate to break it to you, but I think that's probably a security guard office. You know, I scored a 97 on my science test the other day. Too bad they won't have a test for common sense. This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. I don't know. The arrow is pointing inwards. Well, maybe it's both, kind of a dual purpose. Aha! The theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity, are you sure that was his name? Probably not. That's it. Okay. Back. Nope. Can I present that to you? About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, not cards, especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady. Why? That's like showing a fine honey ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being not mocked? And present more. Oh, whoops. Oh. Right. Name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs. What else would they use? Letters, silly. They're the reason we have written language in the first place. True. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. YABADAB. See, wouldn't that be better? YABADAB? Well, it does have a certain ring to it. Exactly my point, teehee. It doesn't take much to amuse her. Yeah, I think that's it on that. Could you take a look at this? Yes? You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. She didn't even look at me. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get rich flavor like this. We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it, so that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is a waste of time. Let's see, anything about the knife? This must be the victim's blood, right? Either that or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyway? Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild. Edgeworth? In the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely. Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman. Now there's a scary thought. Yeah, that's definitely not an Edgeworth thing. Okay. Look at this. Oh, there's a thing on the bottom. Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here. It looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it. Wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, wherever he's from, he must be an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Mr. Von Karma sometime. When she says his name, does kind of have a ring to it. Mm, yeah, I don't know if you really want to meet Von Karma. Can I show you this? Could take a look at this. You. Oh, okay, that's the same thing. Okay. Well, let's go back. Did it just present his own stuff to him? Okay. Anything I missed? Anything at all? Mr. Edgeworth has such a comfy sofa. Sofas like this make me want to curl up and take a nap. I bet he pores over his case files here until the wee hours of the morning. Then he takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, and goes to sleep using that arms as a pillow. I don't believe it. She's actually daydreaming about Edgeworth working. I bet in the morning he has sofa hair and little creases in his cheeks from the seams. He's so cool. Sofa hair is cool? I guess so. Yeah. Nothing really here. Nothing to talk about. Can't really show him anything either. Is she back? No. Oh, whoops. Here, see this? Ah, I've noticed that defense attorneys have tendencies to want to show people things. What is this? A behavioral study of lawyers? Here, see this? Okay. Okay, it's all the same. Okay, what am I supposed to do now? Hmm. Let's see. What do I want to do now? I don't know. Haven't showed her my badge yet. A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy. A box of pickles. Kind of a sad lunch, if you ask me. There was rice. I like pickles, so I'll take it. Maybe I can ask him about this again. So basically, this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost the day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why's that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? Why does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his award, for better or for worse. Well, of course he's not too concerned about it. It's not even on his shelf or anything. He just put it on his sofa. Probably just threw it there. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday. Maybe. Let's see. Let's go back. There we go. Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day for the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort the files, all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. The ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. This is the parking stub from the underground parking lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back. What right? I'd appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Um, who are you? Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? Mr. Edgeworth? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir, with the request of the chief, sir. You've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir! I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the... Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins. Take your port and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. Whimper. But sir, didn't know. Poor guy, looks like he was absent on the day they gave out brains and good luck. Well, that was mean, Phoenix. Come on. Right. Yes, sir? Guy, he got me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as the patrol. Sorry about that. I didn't realize the internet went down. Where were you guys left? Actually, I can just check quickly. Let me see. Okay, you were left when we left Edgeworth's place. Okay, not much has happened, I guess. We went to the detective's department, and Gumshoe here was dancing with the Blue Badger mascot who was outside. I guess that got accepted as the mascot, and he's been telling us some information about stuff. Apparently, he just said he won an award after I showed him Edgeworth's award. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. Um, I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers must be because of the rumors. Okay, and he told me that this is Detective Goodman's ID, and he's actually the victim, so he was the one who got killed. And the knife, um, oh, what was he saying about the knife again? Oh, he was saying that the person who killed Detective Goodman and seems to be trying to frame Edgeworth, so it's probably somebody who has something against Edgeworth. And I have a feeling it's gonna be, or my top suspect is the lunchbox lady, because she doesn't seem to like prosecutors, especially ones who win trophies. So Edgeworth is probably #1 on her hated list. Anyway, found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? Oh, it's just saying the same thing that he's saying when I showed him the knife. Wait, I didn't mean. I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did do it. Did it? Someone who must have, someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? Why is my screen doing a weird thing? My, like, side screens. Sorry about that. Seem to have fixed the problem now, though I forgot to save before restarting, so I'm just gonna speed run back to where we were at. Got a little, or not tutorial, but like guide here. So I'm just gonna really speed run it. Here. Certificate investigator. Relation to Mia. Okay. Then we move to detention center. Okay. Talk. Do all the talking points. Okay. Whoops, nope. Move to the underground parking lot. Examine ladder is the next thing I need to do. I wish there was an easier way to get me back to where I was. It's okay, it's somewhat of a recap for you guys. Oh, whoops. Examine ladder. Wallet. Okay. Wallet. Examine wallet. And then... oh, whoops, not move. Examine queue. Examine the car. And then we'll have to talk to Angel and do all of her talking points. talking points. Prosecutor's office. Present attorney's badge. Oh, can even... Ooh, that's kind of cool. Anyway. Okay. Talk to address. Move to the prosecutor's office. Do all the talking points. Hey, at least I have excellent connection now, it says, so that's good. Okay. Now we examine the trophy. Oops. Now wait, what? Present the trophy? And then we can talk about the day. Alright, I need to do all this. Oh, whoops. Whoops. There we go. Now we talk to Edgeworth. Day of the crime. And then we go to the police department. Man, it sounds like they're having like a big fight for some reason. Or maybe they're just beating him up, which I think is more accurate. Okay. Move, underground parking lot, move, police department. There we go. And since we went down, I'll just continue from here. Phew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me, that took almost 30 minutes by taxi and the traffic wasn't even that bad. The police department, huh? I've only been to the criminals fair next door, Hold on, what's that? Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Wait. Oh wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. We're trying to make him the police. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, why does he seem familiar somehow? Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Oh no, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal, what are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. Okay. Case. I'll give you the. I'll give you one word on advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has already confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Well, yes, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence is faked? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa, the chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's it's a sensitive issue with us these days. Okay. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? What do you mean this time? Then what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spent the day getting the Badger dance down pat. Um, isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall? No, that I think of it, Emma did seem to know the Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of a crime scene? It's unheard of, pal. Okay, and then I presented all my stuff. Whoops. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman? Goodman. Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? found in Edward's car, stabbed with Edward's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have, against a grudge against Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Oh, whoops. Actually, I didn't do that with this yet. Miles Edgeworth, 1712. This is the day of the crime. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up to this whole affair. Perhaps. It just goes to show you, never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light. Okay. And then we showed him this. Hey, that's it! That's the King and Prosecutor's Award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers must be because of the rumors. Okay. Let's unpin. There we go. We are now caught up. So this ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where he found it? Where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal. Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot, and Lana's confessing as much. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about it, Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispers, rumors. Even since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I have no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case was because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Someone wants to be... Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. That's what it sounds like to me, too. Okay. Oh, let's examine stuff. I was wondering about that. What, the dancing blue badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs, and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the batteries die. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is... What was his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the chief of police. Officer Marshall. Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer from West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene, maybe. Received from Detective Gumshoe allows bearer to investigate the crime scene. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Okay. Are we gonna... Okay. I just was wondering why there wasn't a check mark on it. Okay, now there is. Weird. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. I always get excited when I come to the police station. Why is that? It just feels like I've jumped into a movie. Huh? You know, with all the police and criminals? Well, I don't know if this is all that exciting. Sure it is. Look at those two officers over there. They're probably talking about the latest bust. Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. Are they? Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And then I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried. I guess they were talking about salute. Or, not salute. I guess they were talking about soup, not the weather, which... still kind of boring conversation, not gonna lie. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Yeah. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea, why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. A panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, you see? What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? The unusual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. Okay. Let's go back to the parking lot. Looks like the investigation is still going. I have to be getting back to the shop soon. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight, then, baby. Oh, still here? Uh, um, hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? Two boyfriends? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall? Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. I'm gonna see this first. Hey, look here. It Looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see. Annual bonus $20. I think a couple zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right. At least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right to the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? That old cow dog. He holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. I think he just miswrote. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like a settler, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. I don't know, I think that Marshall guy is pretty suspicious. Alright, okay, we have more stuff to talk to him. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young, remember that, partner. Could he be more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman is staffed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Star. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Thank you. Goodman's autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood, one knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, but there's no motive. So there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. There's only... That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot. So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I didn't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You're calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of the fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth. That cow dog's been kicked out of his cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Well, let's start investigating the area. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis should suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Check it out. Right, let's check it out. Oh. Okay, it's just gonna do it automatically. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright. Most phones keep a record of Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button on the display, the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you never know about people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. So, the blue button, huh? Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Hey, that song! I know that. Hey, what's going on over here? Uh, uh, oh, sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to the chief prosecutor's guy. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh. Sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone, a wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh, I've incited the wrath of Lone Star Patrolman. Property in Lana Sky. Last call made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. To Phoenix? This road. Is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. 675 12-2. You're right, let's see. Oh, 67S 12-2. There's a name printed on the paper above that, Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, For deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car, it just screams, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy looking steak. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. Yeah, don't overthink it. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are regulated to B block. A dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. That's about it. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water. It's heavy. I can't even budge it. The drum over there is on its side. Wait, okay, yeah, we definitely heard this before. Um, where to now? Maybe over here? Hmm. Or actually, let's go back here. Maybe we need to examine more. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Can't hear anything. My ears. This is all stuff we heard before. Hmm. Does Marta... Can I do anything? Oh, there we go. There's an option. So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prosecutor tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate has been decided, Bambina. My condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's blowing through the prosecutor's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicious about Mr. Edgeworth have been... Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Which, isn't that when he started, so just forever since he started? Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits, untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Lana's guy. What, my sister? Edgeworth can't wrestle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What you're saying, Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old timers say. There's a big old secret hiding around here. Somewhere, everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was the closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? Oh, she was calling her sister. It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Hmm. Property of Lana Sky, last call made to her sister Emma at 5:18 of the day of the murder. Interesting. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Okay. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia, but there is one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be helping you the whole way. Well, you're not completely by yourself. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't seen him in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in your hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky was committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, we now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime, a professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Ho ho, caviar. I never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Oh, and for you, I have the Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. You ordered the fingerprint lunchbox. It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you were, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am professional. Huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Ah! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. But very well. You may continue with your description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into two blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the two blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by the car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with his knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. The parking lot with Edgeworth's car. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to Garish Carr. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodsman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend, how touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Somehow I always knew a day would... How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, but if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing but more than worms. They say I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? And yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick to the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder. It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bryce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience on the streets, a greenhorn. Then it must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yes, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, they're in the lot. I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to Garish Card. By Garish Card, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And then the person you saw You are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo. You are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh, rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That that was inspiring. I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be regulated to the lowly position of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over the snap. Over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you? A prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Sky. So, what was the defendant doing at this time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You, you can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. It's just a flesh wound, Mr. White. We can make it. You said that before anything else. Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What can we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panic next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. I didn't question the last one. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only okay. Press the witness. Oh, maybe not. Here. to actually look at this so much. Or maybe this one? She's holding a knife in her right hand. Well, that's not in the photo. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts. Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photo. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you gonna just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems like I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. So you don't like it? Try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculated, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photo. Well, those are gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber. Most likely why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premonition. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence from the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry that they took you off the force, Miss Star. This is bad. She got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trials are already over. I've got to think of a way to show that it wasn't premeditated. It's only flesh, right? You can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Star's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panic is making me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay. Let's see. How can we prove this wasn't premeditated? Parking lot. Hmm. Hmm. Rubber gloves present. Oh, whoops. This having a. Oh, whoops. I pressed the wrong button. Okay. So it wasn't this one, I guess. Hmm. Prints usually know. Oh yeah, she didn't have a weapon to begin with, and she wouldn't know that Edris keeps a knife in his car. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunch boxes for a living, you know? That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in the Mr. Edris' trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, the red car, all the belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh, this knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. I will. Order, order, order. Great, now the tide is turning in favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole predetermined testimony. Bah, the prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. That defendant Lana Sky murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Laniska intended to murder Detective Goodman. Oh. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Wasn't it just one stab? The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I plan to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. There was only one stab, right? Let's see. Loss of blood from chest wound was caused by a single stab. Yep. That's it. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction with your statement, Your Honor. How exact... Wait, what? How does that work? Hmm. Wait, what? Was I on the wrong thing? Oh, I think I was on the wrong thing. Let's see. Yeah, I was on the wrong one. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha, you're right. Good show, Miss Sedgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness, you got the crime scene set right. Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, and now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? Then she lifted her knife. I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But anyway, isn't that a little odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib? That's why the place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr is turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fanciest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had judged against the victim. See, I don't like that. She wasn't even wearing a scarf in the photo. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she was stabbed the victim, and you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you've finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But but it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect? Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me so confused on my testimony later. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance is futile. Are you quite determined? You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, and her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. So, she's beautiful but deadly, a predator, this one. A leopard woman, row. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off her side, quickly caught her, and explained her rights on the spot. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away the whole time, but there was a fence in between. Yeah, press her more. I'd like to see this on the floor pans just to the safe. The lunch lady car was... She was a visitor, thus she parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is this correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the Coffee Queen lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. But she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence is about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Wait, are we just gonna pass that? Oh my god. Okay, I guess we'll just keep pressing for now. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone, she can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the scene of the crime? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Ever happened to good testifying? But how did she know the cell phone was out of order? You should... Wait, you should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Cell phone updated. Wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. Oh, whoops. Do you think you could reinstate your testimony for the court? Aha, I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. But how could you see? There was a solid wall between you and Lana. So she pulled out her cell phone out of her pocket. You still can't see from there. Now you would be able to see. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then I boldly grabbed her arm. The chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor prosecutor? But who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago? Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Wow! Order, order, what is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Grr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I cannot afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw, where she saw it, or the order of events. I want to say what she saw. She lied about what she saw, in other words. She didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patooey on rice, right? Mr. Wright, I thought you had something here. Ah, dang it. Mm. I guess where she saw it then. This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But why the witness did actually see Miss Guy using the emergency phone? It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now, that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony I've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime was here. I think the security room. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. Is built on the second floor if you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order, order. Witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should have known better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Sky? Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Star lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? She could have just said she was the crime. She saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Truth still stands. But that photo wasn't taken at the guard station. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. It might make a vital difference from what we angle of the crime, distance of crime, different lighting. Angle, I guess. Burger. This. Well, she did say she got to it right away, and she would have to go all the way down. I think it's distance. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see what could have changed what she could see. What she saw is not the question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime scene from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Guy? Well, witness? Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry to the boyfriend. He wasn't in the situation, so I waited. In the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. Yeah, you didn't arrest her fast at all. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things quite considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear on my finest plastic sport. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in the amount of time if you like it al dente. I've got lunches that tie pasta into knots, Ricky. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you would have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Well then, it seems we have come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately, I appear to have underestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Koth-Up Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Star. Uh, is this your jumbo lunchbox? Whoa-ho, a triple-decker. Out of defense to the witness's determination, I will allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you have blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is this right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. So, Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was proved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, It appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsifying evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing the manipulating device. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Then, when the suspect is admitting she did it, the false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, mister. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained a chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm very happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need to approve. And to do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And the blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I say, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, Ricky? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. Even I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Lana Skye's. So the suspect was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. This shoe proves it as flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? 'Cause I ordered the peppered fish guts. 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 'Cause I or Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or do you not have a problem with the shoe? Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Well, there has to be a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I would say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Blood on the bottom. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the shoe? I don't see any blood on the floor, so maybe that one. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where were they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not here. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum, and she's beautiful but deadly, a predator, this one. A leopard woman, Rao. I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask you a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though, apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the real reason she knocked it over? And the real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To raise the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Rah! That ties things up quite nicely. Bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait. Witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare me, the cough of Queen. Look at this. Photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photo. Well, she said there was some, like, Lana said muffler on the phone, and there seems to be something in the muffler, so probably that. The problem with this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? You just said muffler? However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler? So, what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much as in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the story. Well, she said muffler on the phone. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's that's what had me confused in my testimony earlier. Muffler. Ugh. Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means the piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, what? Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. But we leave any question unanswered. Unanswered? Here we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew, that was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Somehow he is. Mr. Wright. Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of the lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So, what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the ones who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell you the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire its temper. That's what they told me when I saw a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look, see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these past 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scars. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blowing at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the word ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns, and sometimes you gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in right now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled. Okay. It can't be, it just can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time to continue this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock? Who's there? Who's this guy? What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you. Hello? Heh. Sorry I'm late. Edgy. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, Edgy. How'd you been? Swim much these days? Edgy. Oh, Edgy. Okay. Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smudgy, Edgy? My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Edgy seems to be a nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. I'm sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime, jolly? Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in entire district. Name's Damon. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, wasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Mr. wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Guy really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed in that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. Hello? It's quite embarrassing even for us. But what's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature is there, Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'd expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at the loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and if I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Come on, hurry up and open it. Okay. Wow, don't scare me like that. I'm the I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stained blood. Switchblade knife added to court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This knife is special and I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. At the police department? Time of the crime 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. What? There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order. Anyway, we have the department. We're all afluster, as you might as well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Or Mr. Wright? Two detectives killed at the same time in two different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well, however. Keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Special... Unless there's evidence to connect it. What do you mean by that? This knife was found on the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about that knife that would give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can. So, how are things down at the department? Okay. Where's the blade? I want to look at this. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code, DO6. Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on the tag. It wasn't that long ago either. This is a piece of paper that Goodman had? Is that the connection? This. Yeah, the 67S, whatever then. Let's see. Wait, oh wait, it moved forward. That was the wrong one. Think, right, evidence, wrong thing. Okay. There we go. Wait a second. At last, an honest and goodness objection. This knife. This has to be something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha, an honest to goodness. What do you mean? From Udgy, this is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Oh, it's upside down. It's SL9. What's this? 6 minus 7S, 12, 2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? 221 SL9. Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that was written on knife tag. Order, order. Well, Chief? Oh, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto? I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape for investigation. The detective was killed at... Wait. Knife was evidence stolen from the department room. So this knife was stolen. Yes, on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Yes, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this evidence was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. The department bad day. A detective was killed at the police. Okay, which detective? On the same day that a detective was killed at the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? Well, I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested, that was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I supposed it could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and only one thing. Uh, Well, we already know when the victim was died. Kinda knew when the victim... How was the victim killed? Well, how was the victim killed? How was he killed? Now that's an interesting part. It was when... It was what we in the forest called stabbing with a knife. A knife. That's exactly the same as Detective Gunman. That's the spirit, now we're cooking. But you know, that's not the only thing that's exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a little bit harder. Okay. Let's press it harder then. Let's do a different option. Where was the victim found? So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this here case, but I cannot talk much about it. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. But that knife, what was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. This knife... What? knife was evidence. It's stolen from the evidence. Bad day for the department. We weren't in any. Detective was killed at the police department. See what a mess. Time. Coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this here case. Well, now it is. Gonna press him on that. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Heh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? See, out with it. Yes, out with it, Righto. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen. Found in the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet at all. Can we get the information? Unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Let's see. Victim's division of... Let's do the ID. Okay, how about you tell me about the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. I'll keep a tight lid on the ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The ID number is 5842189. Oh, well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You can't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the... Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? Has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. To say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? 5842189. It's the same as Detective Goodman's. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. Oh, did it? Okay, we're good. The police department and prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives, murder at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I forgot. You didn't even get the first number right again. the number of the the number the chief of the police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? Meaning, that's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bryce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? See, that makes no sense because how could Bryce Goodman be killed at the police department and the parking lot at the same time? But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. Yeah, underground parking lot. Yeah, a detective, Bryce Goodman, was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what you're saying is the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? One of them must be a fake. Order, order, order. Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth. They're yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have I heard that name before? Wait, Yeah, we met Officer Meekins. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edwards, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer told me, he said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bryce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, that is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then Why does it take so long for him to talk sometimes? No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say unworthy. What? Now, was the second rule of evidence law, huh? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on the trial, and how is this rule relevant? Normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. That connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, but with all with all those rumors, but you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. What will be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Whatever your punishment for this, I hope, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. Alright guys, I'm gonna end stream here. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in what happens next, I'll be live again tomorrow at 9 a.m. CST. I'll see you then.